Hello, everybody. Justin and Dave here, and we are joined with Judah Hernandez all the way from Toronto, Canada. What's going on, man?
Oh man, I'm so good. I'm so good. In the midst of all this,
Right.
you know what? Staying focused on the things that matter. That's
I love
important.
it. So Judah runs Black and White Media, an incredible media firm up in Canada that's done a few projects for me and a few for people that I love and know because I just send them all the good people. Judah, you're really good at staying flexible and adaptable. You've had to throughout your whole life. I think that's a mark of your career. And so now I think that's really shining through. What are you working on right now?
So we actually launched a whole new company and basically launched from idea to actual like website, everything in 5 days.
Wow.
Like when I say we had to pivot quickly, it was like mind-blowingly fast, and we spent basically every waking moment we had shifting and really thinking about what the need is here. Because you know, I saw that my company was going to be needing to change very quickly.
So why don't you give a little bit more context on the work that you've been doing, and then we'll get up to how you're pivoting. So what did the company look like before this 5 days ago?
Absolutely. So Black and White Media is a video production company that focuses on really stunning visuals, right? We think that every company, every person has a story. And, you know, since the dawn of human history, the way that humans connect was through story. So just capturing that and sharing it on a video, I think, is a new form of communication that, you know, is global. You can talk to somebody at 24 hours a day, 7 days a week without actually being there. And so for companies and corporations that really understand this, we had a lot to give them. And that's Black and White Media in a nutshell. We also do music videos, short films, feature films as well. But where we really saw impact was small and medium-sized companies. Large companies, they've always known that this was a really powerful communication tool. But I think small and medium-sized businesses that just had the access to it because of technology. You know, we have access to things that 10 years ago you're looking at you know, six-figure projects where now it's available for people. So
so how are you?
Media
it's cutting out a little bit. Hold on.
Really?
Oh, you there?
No, it's no. Yeah. We are really more than just a production company. We actually aim to get businesses the recognition, because the second part of this is realizing that video is a marketing tool just like anything else. And without a strategy, without an idea of how you're going to use it, who the demographic is, you know, what the message is, I think a lot of people think that it's this magic silver bullet, but it doesn't work that way. Rarely does it. We have to help get that video in front of the right audience for it to be effective. Right,
and with the right message.
That's right.
This is the first time we've met. So, first of all, you're just a beautiful human being, I want to tell you.
Yeah, he is.
You really are. And I'm not surprised because, Justin, that's pretty much
the
waters he swims in. So how do you see the world? I can tell you see the world a certain way that allows you to see their stories and bring their stories out. What is it? How would you give us the inside of your eyeballs?
Sure. I think that emotional intelligence is more important than IQ per se. If you're able to empathize with people, if you're able to understand where they're coming from, you can connect with them and doors are open left, right, and center for you. Whereas IQ, while it's very important to be book smart and be able to think things through, on a human level, I think the ability I have is to really dig deep and understand what people are trying to say and what people want to see on the other side as well.
Yeah.
Through my
That's
eyeballs.
a great segue into the current work, right? So you have this very human approach. What are you seeing? What's the need? Where are humans at right now responding in this coronavirus? environment? And then what are you going to be bringing to the table, your new business venture?
Yeah. What I'm seeing is the biggest issue outside of the virus itself is for companies is communication. Right now, what people need internally is they need unity. They
Mm-hmm.
need to feel like there's some stability. Right now, everything around us is just shaking.
Yeah.
And the way that companies and leaders can do that is by delivering powerful messages in a professional way on a very personal level, which sounds like an oxymoron, but
I'm tracking. I like it.
yeah, there's a way to do it. So we're seeing that that through communication we can bring back a bit of stability.
Mm.
You know, things are shifting every single day, but what I'm seeing is that leaders are looking for ways to talk to their shareholders. They want to talk to their staff.
Yeah.
And while Zoom calls and this kind of thing is effective in the moment, there is a level of aesthetic that goes with it as well.
Right. Well,
Especially,
and coming with a really well-crafted message, I think,
yes.
it's a both and. I think you need the in the moment, do it,
Mhm.
but then taking the time to have a well-crafted, well-delivered, beautiful message to deliver. There's a place for that too.
Absolutely. So that brings us to the new company, which is called On the Dot Studios. So we're taking all of the beautiful visuals that we created through Black and White Media, all of the story and the messaging that we focus on, and applying that to things like live streaming. So you still have really high quality
Mm.
and professional, but through live streaming options. We then take those really high quality videos and then cut them into little pieces so that you can deliver them still. Because the one thing that is actually working is social media,
Right.
right? So you still have those channels to put things out and sort of keep the ball rolling. The other thing that I'm seeing is a lot of momentum loss. A lot
Mm.
of companies who are doing like seeing 2020 as the year. This is the year to reach that level,
Right. Right.
and they were well on their way, and then all of a sudden it's like boom, hit a
Mm.
wall.
Yeah.
But we're thinking you don't have to lose everything. You don't have to lose all the momentum.
Right.
There's a way to get through that. So
Well, and I'd even go a step further. I would say, okay, not just, cutting your losses and playing defense. How can you play offense right now?
exactly.
What is the opportunity? Not just how do I protect my gains, but now there's a bit of a vacuum here that's created that if you can focus on how to serve people, and if you can focus on meeting people where they're at, exactly what you're talking about, as any business, you are actually going to gain, I believe, market share in this time
Yes.
if you can stay human centric and
That's right.
collaboration centric in your work.
That's right. And I told you this, but one of the funniest and most true statements that I've heard during this whole epidemic is that there are people who find opportunity in the darkness, and then there are people who hoard toilet paper. So,
Right. Two kinds of people.
you guys are people. And I feel like a lot of entrepreneurs, they know internally that they are the ones looking for those opportunities in the darkness. And
Yeah.
the opportunity is by serving the people and finding those needs.
Well, sure, because a candle's a lot brighter in a dark room than it is in a bright room. So I think we have an opportunity to be a light in this.
All right, man. That's it.
Judy, when you talked about emotional intelligence,
Yes.
and I noticed it through just generally, even before the academic, as we call it, and that we just attract to people with that emotional intelligence. And now we see on our podcast guests, they have this.
Mm-hmm.
They both have it, and whether they're calling it emotional intelligence, they are advocating for it and they're encouraging it. So how do you draw it out? How do our listeners and viewers draw out more emotional intelligence? I don't know if draw out, whatever the right verb is.
Tap into, maybe. Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
I think it's a muscle, like anything else. You go to
That's
the
good,
gym,
man.
you don't just show up and expect to lift, 200 pounds over your head. You
Right.
have to practice every day. You have to do it, and you have to at the beginning, you have to consciously think, how can I help someone today? How
Yeah.
can I be of service? And then all of a sudden you're doing it without even noticing. Just like the whole reason you go to the gym is to get stronger, and then all of a sudden you're lifting things you didn't think you could.
Yeah.
Just like that, emotional intelligence, if you practice it, you will suddenly find yourself just finding those needs without even thinking about it.
I love it. I love it. Judah, thanks so much. How do people find your work? What's the easiest way?
So Black and White Media is blackwhitemedia.ca. I have a pretty cool website up now. And also for the new company, which I think in 2 days, we've already had, a ton of requests for conversations because people just want to know how it works. It's onthedotstudios.com.
onthedotstudios.com. Okay, awesome. And we'll put your social handles and stuff on all the pieces as well, because you just need to follow this guy's work anyway. He's a phenomenal human. So
I appreciate
love
it,
you, man. Keep it up.
Wow.
Love you guys.
Nice to meet you. Glad to have you in our world.
A pleasure. Absolute pleasure.